Welcome to Built for This, the podcast where real estate meets real life skills. Hosted by Andrea Lane and Alyssa Bicar, each episode features investors turning their unique edge into long-term rental success.
Hello and welcome to the Built for This show. I am your co-hostess, Alyssa Bicar, the consultress, here with my partner in crime, Andrea Lane. We love to interview real estate investors who are bringing their self and their skills to the table in their real estate investment business for success. And so today we would love to introduce you to Reggie Reavis. Andrea, what do we know about Reggie and why is he here today?
So I've known Reggie for a while. He's been in real estate investing for 10 years, has 3 single-family properties in North Carolina and Virginia. And I'm always interested when people are in multiple states. You know me, I always look. So I'm really excited to have you here, Reggie. Thank you very much for coming.
Thanks so much for having me, Andrea.
Good. So my first question I ask everyone, why did you get into real estate investing?
Well, I tell you, it's a funny story about that. I'm very excited to be involved in it. It's one of the best businesses I think I've delved into in my several years here on Earth. I mainly got into it, obviously, like some people do, for money. I'll be honest. Let's be honest. But then I stayed in it because of the people. And I get excited. I'm an adrenaline junkie. I get excited about the options that it provides me and the flexibility therein. It's a very exciting business, I think, to be involved in. So I got into real estate mainly for the money and the security, planning for my retirement as it goes on closer.
Great. And what do you love most about real estate? Because it's clearly not the money anymore.
Well, hang on, let him answer the question.
It's a close second, but no, I love as I said, the excitement. You know, as an investor, you always have, not only in real estate, you always have your antenna up, ears and eyes open. And it's not like you're, a predator, but you're just, hey, that's an opportunity. And your perspective changes, right? I'm sure I'm preaching to the choir here. You're always listening for, okay, what's the option here? And it's not always for yourself, but maybe, you have something you can give to that person, to the other person. You have something you may be able to offer them as well. And so your perspective changes. And to me, it's therapy almost.
Oh,
yeah. So
Well, you know my story. I got in to not pay taxes. That was my goal in real estate. But what keeps me here is I love that real estate is so diversified. You're never bored. And I love the people. So I get 100% how that can light you up when you hear oh, what about this? What can I do with this? And how can I make it work?
Mm-hmm. And no 2 days are ever alike. That's part of the interesting. You said exciting. I wrote down a couple of things as you were talking, Reggie. Like, I got in for the money and I stayed for the people. That just might be the title of this broadcast. We will see. But it's exciting in a way that it's always problem solving. You said there may be a way to give to people. It's not just about receiving wealth and building up your nest egg, but it is also about the interplay between creating win-win scenarios for other people and seeing, this deal isn't for me because it doesn't fit what I'm looking for, but I know somebody else that can benefit from this or who has relationships that could. And so I love that your antennas are always up and you're always looking for opportunities to invest in people. So I love the kind of overlap that you have here. So one of the things I'm always curious about is, your professional skills in your career, in what you've dedicated your working hours, your working life to. How do your skills in that department translate into your real estate strategy?
great question. I'm glad you asked. I began, interestingly enough, in sales. Okay, so retail sales, and then yes, I was an Amway distributor years ago when it was actually a legit situation. And so I developed a lot of my people skills and my sales skills in that genre. And then I professionally got involved in technology, where I was a technician. I had to go out and problem solve, troubleshoot, and also interact with people who may not understand what I'm doing. So I had to translate a lot. And then I moved into insurance, which I had to actually, kind of communicate and convey the complicated world of insurance to spending their money on what they thought were benefits. And so now I'm closing things out in healthcare, which is another people business. So I guess I'm kind of cut out for it. But in all those genres, I have to solve problems, and I get to help people. So that combination translates well into what I do with real estate.
So what have your biggest challenges been in the real estate marketplace nowadays? I hear all these people, oh, rates are high, it's not working, it's not as good as it used to be. What about you?
Let me tell you, real estate is really a mindset. It's really a mindset. And if you have a mindset that I'm not going to do it, I'm not going to make it, oh, it's too tough, or that deal's not going to work, well, you're going to quit too easily, and you're going to back off, and you're going to feel intimidated. Whereas if you come in with a win-win attitude, look, I'm going to find a way to make this work. And if I don't find a way to make this work, I'll have a lesson learned to put in my cap to say, next time I see these signs, to run, right? And so, and, Andrea is known as the networking guru, and I'll be honest, she's definitely earned that title. Having maintained our relationship over the years, it's not one that we talk every day, but anytime I reach out to Andrea, she reaches back. And I will just say this quickly. The first encounter with her was I was kind of leery. I will be honest. I was at a convention with another organization, and Andrea probably planned this. I know she was out there in the midst of all these hungry investors trying to learn how to do things better, right? And so she's lurking around in the waiting room. Hey, how are you? I'm Andrea, like, who are you? Like, what do you do? So she got my contact.
Lurking around in the waiting room. I love that.
Yeah,
dude. I'm going to clip that out. Go ahead.
Am I right, Andrea? You could stop me when I'm wrong.
I still do it today, Reggie. I'm always lurking for new people to find out what they do. Yes.
Yeah, it's a positive thing, I mean, she's using an opportunity. Why would you fish in a pond where there's no fish? Why would you go just because you love fishing? I mean, let's make it a little fruitful. Even if you have to catch and throw back, at least you have some opportunity to make some connections. So she did that. And that led to some other things, actually, to one of my first and now most fruitful purchases. I found an opportunity to get financing through someone else she knew, which was very helpful. And I walked away from that deal with a house that I basically paid nothing for, because we purchased it, got the loan, got the refi, went back, rented it out, and it's been flowing ever since. Now it's my most profitable property, honestly. And so I'm getting unheard of profits on that property. So, so networking is essential. And I think that's something that people underestimate. Don't ever be ashamed to stick out your hand or smile or make a face. You'll never know who you might meet. And don't underestimate the book by the cover.
And that is super huge. So would you say that networking, so I'm hearing that sometimes it's challenging for people to put on that networking hat and go, I'm just going to go out and meet the people, because it can be intimidating. You feel like you don't know what you're doing. I mean, we've all been there. And the challenges that can come from being isolated are some of the worst. Like you just said, Andrea helped you to get this most profitable deal put together in some way. She was a piece of that puzzle. If you don't have the pieces, you can't put the puzzle together, So I love that some of the challenges that I'm hearing are opportunities, not challenges. Like you almost reframed the question. We're like, yeah, challenge, whatever, but opportunity.
I love it.
Absolutely. Make yourself available. and don't limit your options, right?
Yeah,
That's true for anything, not just real estate.
Yeah.
very true.
So I have one of my favorite questions as a landlord. Do you self-manage your properties? Do you have a property manager?
Yes and no.
Okay.
One of my
Both?
properties, yeah, no, one I do, one I don't. A couple I don't. And so I think mainly because of the relationship I have with one of the tenants, I'm able to self-manage because they self-manage. And interestingly enough, the one that I do have managed, the previous tenant was pretty much the management company. I mean, she was on top of everything. She would call me and tell me what she's going to fix, right?
Nice.
So I was excited about that. But no, I managed one and I have the other one managed for me. And the advantage I think with the management company, and I would encourage anyone, even on your first deal, to go ahead and get the manager. Otherwise, you're asking for a job unless you actually know the tenant well enough that they're going to be trustworthy and you can actually, they can self-manage almost. Because the advantages are, I mean, with vacancies, with screening tenants, with taking those calls for you, with checking the market, it's worth the percentage. Absolutely worth the percentage.
I love that response because so many people are afraid, oh, they're going to take my money. No, they're going to relieve you of a job.
Right.
You have to vet your property manager and make sure they're working and doing what you need. But if they're doing it, boy, that time that you're spending is so much worthwhile doing something else than managing a property. So I
I'll say
love
this
that.
as a, I'm sorry.
Go ahead. Go
I'll
ahead.
say this as a sidebar. I just got a text from my mechanic, and just this past weekend, I failed inspection for a power steering pump. So I called my son-in-law, who is a mechanic, and we started talking about it and blah, blah, blah. He goes, yeah, you can go on YouTube, you can fix it. So I'm up underneath the car, and I go, you know what? I'm doing okay. I can hire somebody to do this. Why am I up underneath my car? It used to be fun. It's no longer fun. So now I just pay a guy to do what he needs, what he does all day. And I just got a text from him, a good text, good news. So he's not going to up the price that he gave me. He's like, it's just a pump. There's no hose problem. So I'm just saying that to say, in the analogy to real estate, if you hire a professional, that's what they do all day long. Why not pay them for their services, for that peace of mind and the time you save and the fact that you're going to have something done right. And if it's not done right, you have someone to hold accountable. So it's just the,
100%.
yeah.
And
Right.
so I just want to like reel back to this very poignant thing is like you hire people for what they're really good at. And
Exactly.
I heard the breadcrumbs that I'm just going to kind of connect some of these dots. Andrea was really influential in helping you put some pieces together, or was a piece that you got to put together. So when it comes to your portfolio, looks like you've built up a nice little portfolio for yourself. And you've built, some connections to be able to make those win-win scenarios happen. So one of the things that Andrea is really good at, like you said, she's like the maven of networking. She's also really good at curating and mentoring folks when they are in motion to grow and continue. Because just because you know lots of people doesn't mean that you have the curated connection and the ability to create momentum on time. And so one of the things I think she's really masterful at is bringing together a network of investors who are in motion, heading them, like hitting their head against some problems and being able to workshop not only with her but with one another to solve those problems in like a mastermind format in that like masterful way. So we've seen in that program a lot of growth where people are there for each other as well as there to learn. So I just wanted to like high five Andrea for the kind of community she gathers, because not only does she feel to me like somebody who's always willing to help people get started, but when you're ready to pour gasoline on that fire, Andrea's the woman. to see. So I don't know if you feel the same way, Reggie, but I just wanted to like connect some of those dots and just say, you know, this is who she's been for me personally. It sounds like that's who she's been for you as well. And I won't let you
Absolutely.
go ahead.
No, absolutely. I'll give her kudos, in that area. I call Andrea and she can tell you anytime I have a question about a deal,
Yes.
had a situation with, she gives you good advice. By the way, Andrea, that deal that we were talking about, I don't know if you recall, with the person who or and he had a property that he was trying to keep, even though he was so far behind, he couldn't.
Exactly.
So long story short, I actually was instrumental in him making decisions with that. I did not get the property. However, I did guide him into a better return. And for that, he still paid me what I would have gotten, pretty much close to what I would have gotten on the deal. So it's not always, cookie cutter. Sometimes the creativity has to be there. He appreciated my honesty and my support in the process when these other guys were at him. By the way, I don't know if I can say the name. The big billboard guy got him. He got such a great return that he actually still broke me off a nice chunk after the deal. So there you have a way of being creative and not always being traditional in the way you create, get an opportunity. But here's another warning for you guys. This same person, I almost cry when I think about it. Not even a month later, he got one of those scammers called him and got all of that money out of his bank account. A sad story. Sad story. So just beware of who you share your information with and how you share it.
That's a mixed blessing story there. It's terrible for him, and yeah, you have to be
But
really
he's still
careful.
getting a check.
Yeah. And the truth is, like, again, I think you're coming home. Like, I got in it for the money and I stayed for the people. Like, surrounding yourself with the right people is absolutely crucial. You know, we all make mistakes and go and kiss frogs, and then like you said before, you learn from experience what to lean into and maybe next time what to move away from. So there's been a lot of wisdom and a lot of lessons in your story. For those of you listening on the broadcast, we have opened up the opportunity to participate in Andrea's 8-session intensive, where she brings people from soup to nuts. If you are thinking about getting involved or just starting to get involved in real estate investing, we want to make sure that you know this woman is available for mentorship, and she doesn't open her doors very often unless you're in the inner circle like Reggie. So we wanted to let you know, if you have a desire to be involved or to bring your professional skills to the table, and to find out in what way will you building your portfolio be the best way, you need to talk to this woman. And one of the best ways to do that is to get involved in her education, which is, by the way, one of the best intensive I've ever seen. It gives you the whole roadmap and allows you to pick which path without wasting all of your money on education. She gives you what you need to know to make that next decision, so that when you have a deal and you can be like Reggie and call Andrea and say, okay, let's work through this deal, you have access to her. So if you're interested in learning more, please drop us a comment. We'd love to hear from you and talk about what your situation is and see if it's the right fit. Reggie, as we're wrapping up this interview, thank you so much for being here and sharing your wisdom from the road. What exciting plans or initiatives do you have in the works for the next 6 to 12 months?
Well, I'm being really prayerful. I spent the most part of 2026 so far optimizing my current properties without trying to make any new acquisitions, and also tapped into Andrea's wisdom in terms of what I would do next. There's an opportunities in some cities to do ADUs in your backyards, of properties. It's a really good deal. Long story short, I have put in an application. And so I am looking forward to, I've heard from the facilitator for that program, And she told me to be sure that it was city-based, and this one is, Andrea. So they are going to provide 100% financing for this deal.
Well, we need to
and
talk. I want to know where that is.
Can't tell you all my secrets, but yeah, because there are a few slots. Yeah, but I appreciate your advice on that. I did wait, and sure enough, they have my name and number, and they reached back out to me. Again, what I say about the guys, just be nimble, be patient. You don't have to get rich quick. You don't have to have a humongous portfolio. Just make sure what you do is efficient, and it's a good business decision each step you make, and it'll pay off dividends in the long run. Don't try to get rich quick, because then you go broke quick.
Yeah.
Hallelujah.
I say that all the time to people. I don't sell a dream, I sell reality, and reality isn't get rich quick. Not that you can't have one deal that absolutely outperforms everything you expected, but that is not normal.
And clearly that's on the menu, because Reggie is living proof of that. Like, it's outperforming everything else. Oh, Reggie, we have had such a good time here with you on the Built for This show. Folks, don't go away. Right after this, we have your next best guest waiting in the wings. If you want to be part of this experience, please send us a message, because we are always looking to interview people who are bringing their whole self and all their skills into their real estate success. If you'd like to connect with Reggie, please also drop us a comment. Connect me with Reggie, because he's moving and shaking. He's an inspiration to many. So we'd love to connect you. Just drop us a comment and we'll make sure you get connected. And in the meantime, friends, we broadcast from this room a couple times a month, and we are going to be opening up season 2 of this podcast with some live events. So stay tuned, stay subscribed, and we will let you know as the journey unfolds how you can participate more and more. Thanks a million, everybody. High five, and we'll see you next time.
This wraps another episode of Built for This. If you're a real estate investor with a unique edge, apply to join us at builtforthisshow.com/guest.